Ladies and gentlemen, once again it is, for the 667th time, the Mason and Friends Show, featuring that dude called Mike.
Yeah.
And me, I'm Mason. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today? Yo, is this a cult movie?
A what?
A cult.
I mean, sort of.
Okay. This is from a movie, though, right?
Yeah, this was used in a movie.
Mid-80s?
Late 60s.
Ah, fuck. Alfred Hitchcock joint?
No. Iconic director, though.
Is it, it's not Vertigo, because that's Alfred Hitchcock.
Right. And that's probably 10, 20 years older. Vertigo.
Is this, this ain't Reefer Madness, is it?
No, sir. Reefer Madness way older. That shit's from like the 30s.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Like Reefer
I
Madness.
didn't know Reefer Madness was that old.
That's when they were starting to try to get
Oh,
weed
wow.
criminalized. Or I guess it would have been the 20s. But yeah, it's real old. That's why everybody looks so weird. Like they're all dressed up all nice.
Yeah, like
And they're
going to-
kids and they look like they're 40.
in the business suits and shit, like all the
Exactly.
fucking kids are lawyers and shit.
Right.
I don't know this one. I probably do know this one.
This is from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't see that one. Then that makes sense. Perfect fucking sense now. So, peep this shit, bruh. So, yesterday, remember I told you I was heading to the city? We went up to see Shenyang, the Chinese ballet.
Okay.
The China before communism. Man,
What a nice time.
That shit, yo, if anybody has tickets or even thought about going to see this play, go check this shit out. This shit was fucking on point, bruh. The fucking music, the choreography, everything in it was on fucking point, bruh. I mean, these motherfuckers, you talking about some professional shit, they weren't missing a beat on nothing. Shit was like, it was on point.
That's awesome.
Very interesting, very entertaining. Like, they came out and, they're talking to the audience and the people, the host. They're like, look, we put these shows on. We're a big company. We have like 7 simultaneous shows going on at the same time across the world right now. We can't do this in China because of the communism that's going on over there. We can't have this play over there. We can't show this.
They don't let it happen.
And they had a scene during one of the acts was where this father was a surgeon, right? And his daughter's birthday comes up, and this is during communist China, where that these people when they would practice a certain belief or religion outside of what communism allowed them to, these people were like beaten, taken,
they get in trouble,
and then like their organs are basically harvested. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my.
Yo, it's crazy shit, the story that they're telling us, right? So they do this act, they do the play where the father's like, he gets an emergency call, he has to go to the hospital all of a sudden, and the daughter and her friend are out in this park having a good time playing around and fucking, they are celebrating something that's not supposed to be celebrated under communism law. These cats find out, they beat the girl's friend, and they're like, they go to the doctor like, hey, we want you to take care of this girl's organs, whatever, we want this girl's organs. They're like, all right, well, the girl wakes up and gets to arguing with the cop, whatever, and the doctor's daughter ends up getting knocked the fuck out, and they take the wrong body. He ends up removing the wrong body part. He ends up taking his daughter's heart out instead of the other girl's heart out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the shit was twisted. At that part of the whole thing was twisted, but it took you from their beginning with their dynasties and deities and all that stuff, and they kind of work you through time through different things, different acts and songs and stuff.
So they're telling you how communism happened in China
Basically,
over the long haul.
In a sense, they give you a snippet, and they're like, this is how we were, this is how China was prior to communism. And then we had this lady that was sitting in the crowd with us, right, in the audience with us, and like she's up there and she's talking. She after the show she stops and she asks me and the old lady. She's like, "What did you guys think about this?" And we're telling her like it was very interesting, and it was very insightful with things, and we loved the colors and everything, and how it was done. And she was like, Das Verboten was telling the lady like she goes, the part about where the doctor had to harvest. She goes that I felt that, and the lady was like that's true. That really happens. Like to this day, it's still happening. She's like, this stuff right here that you guys saw, we could never see over there, And she's telling us about all this stuff that's going on over in China and whatnot. She's like, I see this every year to support this because of what's going on over there. I'm like, wow, this I didn't look at things in that light at first. You know what I mean?
Oh, but dude, yeah. Things are.
It was very eye-opening. Very, very well done. Very put together.
Things are scary over there, man.
It was fucking brilliant. I loved it. Then we went out and ate. We hit McCormick and Schmidt's. Man, that shit was banging. Food was good. And left out of the city before it fucking started coming down, man. Because that storm hit, like out of nowhere, quick.
This was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Came hit real quick, and we was good. But overall, good weekend. Nothing too extravagant, nothing, out of like left field with shit this go round.
Nothing too far outside of your realm of comfort.
Nah, like it was pretty cool, man. Like, when we got up into the Kennedy Center, the thing that kind of got me with the Kennedy Center was that, they had the signs up saying, when you go into the theater, you gotta have your mask on. I'm like, well, fuck, we didn't buy any
And then you
mask.
could take it off when you get to the seat?
No, you had to have it on the whole time, during the show. But I'm like, well, you weren't in the actual theater itself. Motherfuckers was walking around with no mask on. I'm like, I'm scratching my head. Like, it's the only thing that didn't make sense yesterday. I'm like, you got people walking around without a mask on, but then we go sit down. We got to have them on. But we were all just out here, talking and chilling and, buying drinks, expensive.
I bet they were expensive, man. Bruh. Kennedy Center? Shit.
Got a cup like this.
Because they said, that Jack Daniels would be $35.
They said you could bring the drink in as long as it was in a one of their cups. You could bring your drink in. So I'm like, all right, cool. We go buy 2 drinks this size, ladies and gentlemen. It's a red Solo cup right here.
Is that a 12-ounce red Solo cup?
Yeah. And fucking 40, I think for 2 Catman Gingers, it was like $45, $46, yo.
Wow, I was really close.
Yeah. 2 bottles of water, I think, were like 16. Regular fucking bottles of fucking Dasane water. You know what I mean? Not even the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's the worst water.
Damn, bro.
That's really bad water.
But, overall, like, the experience and everything, fantastic. You guys did a good job.
Well done, Michael. I'm glad to hear you got some culture.
And people were shocked when I told them I was going to this Chinese ballet. I'm like, I am a culture motherfucker. Like, I do.
Why were they shocked? Why do you think they were shocked?
I think it's because of stereotypes and plus of how I am anyway. I'm just one of them charismatic.
Is it because they're like, you can't be like talk about tossing booties like you be talking about booties.
Yeah, I think that's what fucks them up. And you go
to like the Chinese like communist ballet shit.
Yeah, I think it fucks them up. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm very open minded to a lot of shit.
Like, hold on, baby, let me wipe this booty off my chin, and now we'll go to the ballet. Now we'll go to the ballet.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that's what fucked people up. Like, wait a minute, you of all people, like, what the fuck me? All people, yeah,
right.
Of course,
you of all people.
Like, why not? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
How dare you of all people go to a Chinese anti-communism ballet?
The flips and shit, man. The stunts they were doing.
Now, were these all people from China?
Yeah,
they're like ex-Chinese patriots, like people that have moved away from China that can't come back.
I would assume yes.
Yeah,
but I know they were all of them were Chinese actors. You know what I mean? I would say not actors, performers. The fucking singers, all of them. Like, they did this one joint where they were talking about how the food districts, how, they would have arguments and shit. The dumpling guy would argue with the noodle guy type shit, right? Mm-hmm. And they did a whole act on that, which was, I'm the only motherfucker in there clapping during this shit because I know how difficult the shit that they were doing was doing. Like, they had this rag, like a dish towel. I'd say 18 by 18 sheet, you know, and they're twirling this motherfucker on their finger. Everybody, there's like 15 people on stage doing the same fucking thing with this rag, not dropping it, spinning in sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
That's wild.
shorty comes out of the side, has 2 of them, spinning them, both of them, just like it's all.
Just
right?
rags like they were basketball players, like on the,
Like, it
the
was
Harlem
a-
Globetrotters.
Yeah, but it was like, it was almost
They're the
like,
Harlem Globetrotters
you know what,
of
matter of
rags.
fact, it was like tossing pizza dough. You know how they spin the pizza
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
finger? That's how they were doing these rags. It was just like pizza dough, right? Keeping them in a perfect square, but they were spinning, right? The shorty comes out, got 2 of them on her hand, right? Spinning these motherfuckers. She takes one. While she's spinning the other one, tosses this motherfucker across the entire stage. Does like a boomerang trick with this bitch, because the motherfucker comes right back. As it's coming back on the turn, she does this flip. Still got this one flip, doing this number. Flips, no hands. 2 of them. Comes back up, catches the other motherfucker. Boom. Didn't miss a beat. I'm the only son of a bitch. God damn it. That motherfucker girl good right there. I don't know why the fuck y'all ain't clapping shit.
Well, you appreciate talent.
I
mean,
was like, God damn.
like that's why you and the Jew are a different kind of connoisseur at the strip club, because
Yeah.
if a bitch does something that's really spectacular, you're gonna throw a bunch of money at her.
Yes.
But if she's just up there like throwing her heels down on the ground real hard,
Just doing the same
and-
basic dance is
and-
not happening.
clapping her little booty or whatever, that's no big deal.
Yeah. Plus, I think we've, as a society, been desensitized to certain shit. Like, you see enough bitches twerking, like, all right, you gotta do more than just shake your ass.
I mean, there is something to that.
You know?
Yeah.
After you see an ass shake, I mean, what are you doing with yours?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Like, we went to the strip club, and then I started getting on to looking at the pole dancing chicks on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I like the ones with clothes on that are doing really elaborate shit better than I like the naked ones that are doing really boring shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch some of these Ukrainian and Russian bitches that are just doing crazy stuff and then go to the strip club
You know
and
what I've
get
liked
some
lately?
stank and snatch wafted to me.
Better than pole dancers is the ribbon dancers, the ones that use the ribbon.
Yeah, they
and
use the
wrap
ribbon and they tie themselves up and they fall down and
yeah,
this shit.
that's
Yeah.
just cool.
Yeah.
I like that too.
The ones with the little the hoop that they get into.
Yeah. I like that shit too. Cause I think the Jew was trying to talk us getting to going to the strip club. I think it was Friday. I think he wanted to go last week. He was talking about going this past Friday, but I told him I'm not gonna be able to do that and go to DC the next fucking day. Nah, ain't happening. And the crazy part was, here's why I like the Kennedy Center. Cause
It's right there.
as soon
in
as you
and
get
out.
off the exit, boom, you're
Yeah.
there. As soon as you come out the fucking garage, boom, you're back on fucking 395 or 66. You're
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
It's so sweet going in and out that motherfucker. That was my first time going there. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, they got Hamilton. I still want to go see Hamilton. So we're talking about maybe trying to go see Hamilton when that comes to the Kennedy Center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it might be cool.
Yeah, just try it out, see what it's working with.
I don't know. It there's something about Hamilton that annoys me that I don't want to see it because of. But there's also a part of me that's like, it could be interesting.
Yeah, because they
Like-
hip hop. This is the hip hop version.
Oh,
of
I
it, you
know what it
mean?
is. I like history and I like hip hop, but I don't know if Hamilton is just too corny for me because I've heard people like, you hear one too many random person that like has clearly no hip hop
Yeah.
in them
Yeah.
going, I'm not gonna miss my shot. I'm not gonna miss my shot. I'm like, yo, or I'm not throwing away my shot or whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah.
I'm like, Hamilton and Burr is an interesting session in history for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm fucking with Hamilton or not. Now, if they want to give me free tickets to go to the Kennedy Center and give it a proper review, I would give it a proper review. You know what I mean? Like, is this good or is this not?
I got something for you, man, that threw me off. I got to holler at my sister about this one because she loves Grease. I'm not a fan of Grease. I'm
Like
not,
the movie,
Yeah, the movie Grease.
Okay,
Because,
okay.
see, the only musical that I really enjoyed
Blues Brothers.
was Blues Brothers. That was it. You know what I mean? The rest of them, Grease, I just couldn't stand Grease. For some reason, it just annoyed me, right?
Well, because the difference is the Blues Brothers are they're singing songs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
musicals are typically singing about what's happening. They're like, it would be like, if this podcast was a musical podcast, it would be like, no, I'm going to hit the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate that shit. Like, I don't need narrative description in the song, sing-song
What
form.
the fuck we doing? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going down the road right the other day. But the matter of fact, this was Friday, and it threw me off. Like, I'm like, did I hear this right? It says that they're remaking Grease in DC, right? It's called Grease with a side of mumbo sauce.
Shut up.
They're putting the go-go version twist on Grease. I'm like, yo, dude, what? I don't even know how this gonna work. I'm gonna have to mention this shit to my sister.
I don't believe it.
Because
it
my
sounds
sister
like a radio joke.
No, it's not. This is a real thing that's happening. They're gonna start selling tickets and everything. It's Grease with a side of mumbo sauce coming to DC. I think it's at DAR Constitution Hall. I believe it's gonna be there. I'm like,
so this is like an adaptation of Grease, set in DC, modern.
I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know how to. All I know is they're throwing go-go onto Grease, and how they're gonna pull that off, I'm not sure. Not sure.
There's gonna be guys playing trash cans with drumsticks.
I don't know.
I mean,
Because it's gonna be all like. Matter of fact, we left when we were leaving the Kennedy Center yesterday. There was this dude downstairs cranking. I mean, this motherfucker was cranking. I'm walking down the ramp out the theater like, yo, who the fuck is playing the fucking drums and shit like that? Yeah, I'm like, that's live. That's somebody that's like right inside this building, right? Apparently, there's a stage off some of the ramp. It's like another part of the center, and they were gonna have like another event there, right? And it was a sound check, and this dude, I mean, he is cranking in that motherfucker. Like, I'm coming down the ramp just bopping, young. I'm like, I gotta find out who the fuck this is. Like, if they're gonna have Go-Go at the Kennedy Center, that Go-Go then definitely stepped this game up, from the years of how it was back growing up, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be tough to have a shooting at the Kennedy Center.
I'm going there, right, and I'm reading the fucking sign, and this other lady's there, and she was like, "This is a Christian group." I'm like, "Yeah."
Christian Go-Go?
I don't know. It wasn't. It was like a gospel group that was going to be singing and performing, right? But the drummer was doing his sound check, and he was just cranking, right? So I'm looking at the lady. I'm like, hey, the drummer got a side gig, right? Because he ain't in church cranking like this. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So but the man, he was tearing the motherfuckers up. I'm like, yo, I just come to see this motherfucker crank. He's the one out here doing the sound check. Nobody else is out here doing sound check. No singers, nothing. It was just him doing the sound check.
He probably knew it was the only opportunity to play music like that in that space.
But the Bama was getting it. I'm like, that dude, right? I paid to go see him. Whoever the fuck he is.
Shout out, you Bama.
So whoever that dude was on the drums out there doing sound check yesterday at the Kennedy Center, he was cranking, brother. Because I think that show was getting ready to start like 2 hours after our show ended. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, you can get tickets for it. I'm like, nah, we're going to go get something.
Yeah, dude. Like, multiple shows in a day without having it be part of the plan is not gonna fly typically. Especially if you're out with a lady.
Yeah.
And it's not like a cocaine-filled evening.
He said it's not a cocaine-filled evening.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have some cocaine and some booze
go on all day.
And some ecstasy. You know what I mean? You got a
3-day binge right there
with fucking ecstasy pill ground up on it.
Oh, you gonna take it that way? Like
man.
a depository style.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Going out having a good time. If we hitting multiple.
Now, is that for her or you or both? Like,
whatever, baby. Who am I with, Emma?
Wait. You go.
Nah, it's probably for her.
If Emma said, Mason, I have
I've got both plug with ecstasy.
I would like you to take this. I've already done mine.
I've got mine in. This one's for you.
Like, all right, Emma, let's go.
You really would for
Let's
Emma.
go, Emma.
Oh no, I wouldn't even do that for Janet. I'm sorry.
I know, man. I go far, bro. I love you, Emma. It's a weird thing. Hopefully, Emma wouldn't be into that sort of shit. She'd be like,
she might be.
Took some ecstasy and I want you to go down on
I
her
don't
pussy.
know. It's something about that overseas accent that makes me think that yes, she probably does some shit like that.
I don't know, maybe, man. Maybe.
You never know.
I think that the possibilities of people being into some freaky shit is like endless.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you never know. You never know who might be walking around with like leather on underneath, and
it could be them old ass bitches that you never even would suspect. You're like,
absolutely. Librarians and fucking, you know, meter maids.
You got them
Fucking-
crazy bitches that are just sitting there all quiet in their cubicle, the introvert that nobody ever talks to, but she goes home and fucking rips her hair out and
Right.
rips herself.
It's like the bitch,
You know?
right? Like the bitch that's like taking your money at the toll booth is like going home and doing wild and crazy, freaky things.
She's probably sitting in a toll booth playing with herself while she's sitting there all day.
Maybe maybe she's
you're-
got like the bruised up butt cheeks from where somebody was spanking her real hard.
Yeah,
You know.
or she could be sitting there with what's some things that they got now, the pleasure panties, and just pressing the button at random.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe she has a webcam going on herself while she's in the booth.
You never know, 'cause I mean-
and every time you give her a tip, it vibrates her little pleasure panties.
Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just enough to have her make sure she has a good day.
Exactly. I'm trying to help you get through your day,
Because
girl.
I mean, think about how boring that shit is to be a booth operator, man.
Oh my God.
That's gotta be just like, fuck. I gotta sit here, look at these motherfuckers, ask me, I don't have correct change. Do you have change
Right.
for this?
$2,
Ah,
50
fuck.
cents.
I don't. Do
$2.
you take cards?
50 cents.
Do you take credit cards? No.
I bet they do it some. I know they do it some.
Hold on, I have correct change. Just give me a second. I have correct change. Just,
Right, the bitch is digging around in her fucking
Like,
ashtray.
come on,
trying to
ho,
come
let's
up with
go.
a quarter. I know there's a quarter in here.
It's like being in line with them motherfuckers, man. Remember back in the day before fucking, the credit card machine was there? Motherfuckers used to pay with checks. And fucking, you had to sit there and wait for a motherfucker to pull out a check.
Oh my God, and write
fill
the
that
whole damn
motherfucker-
thing.
Oh, man.
Or they would have it all pulled out, and then the person would be like, "We don't take checks."
Yeah.
And then they'd be
Then they
like
had to
this
put
big
that shit.
uproar.
Yeah, then they had, well, let me see if I can find that money. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you, wait a minute. It's
Let
what?
me put everything away
It's 36,
and then see if I can find some cash.
25. I know I have a quarter. Let me find
with
this
the
quarter.
big pocket chain staying on
Yeah.
the side of the bag.
And you're like, man, fuck, I'm gonna just give you this dollar. Let me give you this dollar. And she can, no, I want
Right.
to get the exact change back. No, I'm gonna give you a dollar. Keep the fucking
Yeah,
change
can
here.
you just get out of the way?
It's just 75 cents, lady. You're gonna get 75 cents. I don't care.
People are the worst, man. Everybody's their own person in their own little zone, and they can't like look around. Like, I fucking like the current job I'm at. I be taking stuff to the UPS store on a fairly regular basis, right?
Yeah.
So I get there, I have like a package in my arm, right? I'm walking up, I open the door, and like people are leaving, and I'll just open the door and hold the door for them. Like, go on, get the fuck out of
They
here.
don't acknowledge you though.
Some of them do, but not all of them.
You're in Northern Virginia, ain't you?
No, I'm talking Warrenton.
Oh, really? Out
yeah.
here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
People just be walking by like no thank you, no acknowledgement.
Yeah, I get a lot of that in
Like,
Northern Virginia.
Yeah, people are just pieces of shit. And that's fine, because really, I'm not holding the door to be polite necessarily. I'm holding the door so you're not in my fucking way.
Huh.
Like, you're going to be in my way if I open this door and just plow on through, because you're coming from the other direction.
And not paying no mind.
Right. Let me go on, open this door. You get the fuck on out of here. Yeah, have a nice day. Fuck yourself, whatever. And on with my life. Like,
Yeah.
most of the shit that I do that, like, could be construed as polite, I'm doing because it makes my situation easier.
Yeah.
Like the other day at work, right? The FedEx guy pulls up and he's like dropping off a freight thing. He's like, "Can you get that car moved?" And I'm like, "I tell you what, if that's all you got, what he's had on the thing," I was like, "I'm gonna just grab a hand truck and move that shit myself." And he's like, "Well, that's a lot of extra work." And I said, "Well, sometimes it's a lot easier to just do a little extra work
Yeah.
than to talk to the fucking douchebags
to
that you
try
have
to
to talk
find these,
to."
yeah, bruh.
You know,
bruh.
like, I'd rather just bring this card over here, load that shit up, and push it on in.
Man, that scenario right there is what I deal with on a regular basis when I go to places. I went to this one place Thursday, I think it was. And it was Wednesday. I pull up and they got a bunch of cars in front of the bay, right? There's this one lady, I see her at all these different places I go to because she drives to each one of these companies dropping off parts. So I know her. You know what I mean? She looks up at me. She goes, "Hey, what do you need moved?" I say, "Yo, I need this pickup and this black car. Those are the only two vehicles I need moved. Everything else can stay where they are. I got this." You know what I mean? So at that time, I block the fucking, like, nobody can come around my truck because I'm making sure that when people see this truck, you're not getting around this. I need this area right here. So therefore, I'm blocking this up. There's another way in and out down at the bottom, but you just got to drive around the other stores, right?
Right.
A lot of people don't like that, but I don't care at this point because it's at the end of the day, this is my last job. This shit shouldn't be difficult, right?
Right.
I see the woman go in the store. She opens up the door and she tells them, and she's pointing at them while she's telling them this car needs to be moved, this truck needs to be moved, right? I know the guy that drives the pickup truck. I run into this dickhead every fucking week.
Right.
And the dickhead does the same shit at every stop that he has to go to, are the same places I go to. And he does this everywhere. He parks right in front of the fucking bays. Bitch, why?
So they can't even pull the cars in and out?
Exactly. You can't pull cars in and out. You can't get parts like trucks.
Fuck you.
He always does this. Everywhere I go, he's there. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
And I'm like, bitch, there's actually parking spaces right next to the bay that you can pull your vehicle in. Because all you do,
he parks where you have to be to do what you have to do.
Exactly. All he has to do is put his shit on a cart, and he wheels the cart out like it's like a shopping cart. You just wheel it out and put the parts in your fucking vehicle, and you go on about your motherfucking business. But no, you wouldn't be in the fucking bay. And then he walks fucking one speed is what I call him, because that's all he fucking got. Like our man the Jew, he's 100. This motherfucker's a 1. Okay. Like he walks.
That's why he parks so close.
He has that doo-doo.
Because he's a lazy fuck.
Doo-doo.
That's the thing, dude. Laziness pisses me off more than anything else, bro.
I see the guy, he comes out and he looks at me. He's like, "Do you need my truck moved?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I always need your fucking truck moved. You should know this. I've been doing this shit for 2 years now, and me and you have the same repair every fucking time. You need to move this motherfucking truck when I come around. You know this. Move your shit." Right? So he moves his truck. Other dude comes out. He's like, "Hey, you need this car moved right here?" "Yeah, it's the one that's directly in the bay. I need that motherfucker moved." "Yes." He goes back in. Another motherfucker comes around the corner. "Hey, do you need this vehicle moved right here?" "Yeah, it's in front of the bay. Why would I not need this move?" 2 other motherfuckers after that came and asked me the same fucking question. And I'm like, you know what? I know that as a species, we are getting a little bit more stupid.
Substantially.
But goddamn, 5 motherfuckers come to me and ask me the same fucking goddamn question about the same vehicle that's actually in this place that I need to be at.
It's willful,
where
man.
Trucks need to be at.
We want to be this. This is what we want to be.
Oh, it gets even better. Because now the motherfuckers that are there that had the other cars, they're all out there in front of this car just talking, having a good time, ain't shit happening. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, I put my window down. What's the deal with this fucking car, young? I'm trying to get this shit done. "Oh, well, the guy that has the key to it, he's at lunch." You fucking kidding? Why did you tell me that? Why did you tell me that when I asked that this motherfucker need to be moved instead of sitting out here answering 5 motherfucking ignorant ass people the goddamn question? "Hey, do you need this fucking car moved?" "Yes, you stupid ass motherfucker. It is in front of the bay where the trucks park at to offload all of their shit. Why would I not need that fucker moved? Please explain that shit to me." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, "Man, fuck y'all. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this shit another time."
All right, see you next time.
Well, the guy, he'll be here in like 3 minutes. Now, I ain't got time for no 3 motherfucking minutes. I've been sitting here for 5. I'm out, right?
Yeah.
So I come back the next day. I'm like, all right, honk the horn. Yo, move the car, because same car is in the same spot. They come out, they move the fucking car, I back up, I'm talking to the manager in that bitch, right? I was like, yo, there was a clusterfuck going on out this motherfucker yesterday, man. She's like, "I heard." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I don't know why that guy took the keys with him." I'm like, first of all, yes, shouldn't have took the keys with him, number 1. Number 2, why the fuck are you gonna park in the bay where you could have any kind of delivery? A truck could show up anytime like I did, but you got cars sitting there. That makes no sense, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you how to do your shit, but you need to do your shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that shit's a pain in the ass,
well,
man.
Like, you want to get the job done, but like they need the job done.
Exactly.
There's a big difference. Like,
exactly.
Fuck y'all, I'll just leave.
I'll just leave and say fuck it, and then y'all complain and whatnot. But I've already did my part and say, hey, look, I couldn't get these individuals because of this was happening.
You can't just throw like the hoses over that car.
Nah,
Okay.
Because fucking when oil starts going through them, it gets heavy and it'll drop. So you don't want to damage vehicles because then they'll say, "Oh, you got oil on my car. You fucked up the vehicle." You know what I mean? Like when I go to fucking car dealerships or used lots and shit like that, bus depots, I gotta be very mindful of all the cars that are around me, man. You know what I mean? So,
well, they're lucky they have a conscientious fellow.
Because I always tell people anyway to move shit anyway. If I need something moved, I'm gonna tell them, "Hey, look, I need this moved." If they say, "Oh, we can't move it," all right, cool, no problem. The job's not getting done. I'll holler at you
see
later.
you next time.
You know, well, we really need this. Well, then you need to figure out how to move this. Yeah, I'm not moving shit because they'll look at me like, "Oh, you can move it." No, I'm not. I don't work for this company.
Yeah, that's not my job.
That's
I'm
not
not
my
insured
job.
to get in your vehicles and move them.
Exactly.
Like, there's a whole lot of things.
Like,
there's a whole lot of reasons why I'm not doing that.
Do you see this uniform goes with the truck that I operate? You know what I mean? That's
Right.
that. So
And that's the only thing I
the only thing I operate is this.
When you're wearing that uniform, this is what you're fucking wearing.
Yeah, but the
And
thing that
that's
gets
it.
me with people though is people to this day still ask me when I'm in different places, hey, excuse me, sir, can I get this? Bitch, do you not, you saw me
Right.
hop out of this fucking truck to go in here and hook up these fucking hoses. You gonna come and ask me, hey, how long is it gonna take for my brakes to get done? Bitch, really? Don't be so goddamn. Please don't tell me you're that dumb.
People are that dumb, Mike.
But
They're
the
that
more
fucking dumb,
and
dude.
more I fucking deal with people, I'm like, God, dog.
Dude, I bartended for 15 years, son.
I can imagine the
are
motherfuckers you've seen.
Stupid as shit. Like,
And that's just it. I was telling my sister, I said, yo, I don't mind people. I have conversations with anybody. But when they get behind the wheel or just the ignorance that comes out sometimes, it's hard for me to deal with.
well, it's like people think it's cute to be dumb. It ain't cute to be dumb.
Yeah.
It ain't cute to be dumb at all. It's fucking annoying as shit.
It's very
Fuck
annoying.
you and your annoying ass
It's
bullshit.
a fucking headache.
Like, when these bitches would come into the restaurant and look around like they ain't never been in a restaurant before and look at me and go, are you guys open? Like, yeah, that's why there's
You
6
walked
tables
in the
in
door.
here and 3 of them have people that's sitting at them eating with drinks and shit, and I got food in my fucking hands and I'm trying to take somewhere right now.
Yeah.
And you gonna ask me if we're open? Like, don't call a place and when they answer the phone, are you all open? Yes, that's why I answered the phone.
Yep, exactly.
Like, I picked up the
we're
phone
here.
because we're open. You called 10 minutes ago. I saw it ring, but we weren't open.
Yeah.
It's now 9:05. We open at 9.
Yeah.
So when you call at 8:55, I don't answer the phone.
Not picking it up.
Right. It's not happening. Because that's the way things are supposed to be done.
And see, that's how I do a lot of my customers, man. Like, I got customers I go to, and I'm like, I don't know what time they open. So I'll call them. They don't pick up. I'm like, all right, they're not open yet.
Right.
So then I'll wait, half hour depending. Call them back. Like I got a client right now that I got to go do next week or this week coming. I hit him up. Hey man, I called, didn't pick up. I was like, I'm not even gonna leave a message because they open up at 9. It's like 8:45. I'm like, I'll just wait till a little after 9. 9:15 come, call him. He picks up the phone. Hey man, just wanted to see if he was gonna be on site. Because a lot of places, people aren't on site. He's like, yeah, I got a guy there. Swing by there. He'll get you squared away. All right, cool, no problem. Got you. Is this the address? Because sometimes I gotta check the address because sometimes the new places they give me the wrong. She's like, yeah, that's an old address. Let me give you the right one. Okay, cool, got you. No problem. Well, I'll be there. Call my homie up because I got another guy that's going to that same spot. Hey man, address is wrong. Here's the right address. Just give you a heads up. He hits you back. Good luck. Appreciate you. No problem. He calls me about an hour later. Hey, we get out here. You're gonna have some problems. I'm like, what's the problem? It's barrels. Cool, I ain't got no problem with barrels. How many? He goes, you got 12 of them. I'm like, all right, God damn it. I hate fucking doing them, but all right, 12 barrels? No problem. I'll deal with it. He goes, they're stacked on top of each other. Wait, what? Hold on. Full barrels are stacked on top of each other? He goes, yeah. I said, well, that ain't going to happen then. I said, I'll go check it out when I get there. He said, well, the guy wants to know when you're going to be here because he has a part to go pick up. I said, well, I'll be there in about an hour. He goes, all right, cool, because the guy said he's only going to be gone for 5 minutes. All right, bet. An hour goes by. I show the fuck up, right?
Nobody's there.
Nobody's in this yard.
And there's barrels stacked.
And I go back to the fucking area where I see the barrels at, and sure as shit, these barrels are stacked. So I'm tapping on them, trying to see which one's hollow, which one's, all these motherfuckers are full, but they're stacked too high. And I'm like, where's the forklift at? I don't see no forklift out here. So how in the fuck did you put these barrels on top of each other? Because I'm not climbing on top of shit to get to this.
Right. That's a hazard.
That's not happening.
Dangerous.
Right? So I
Fall, you
thought,
crack your big ass head.
yeah, I thought that this place was part of the bay that I was near. So I walked around to the front, left my truck in the back, walked around to the front, asked the guys in the bay, hey, I'm here for this. We got some oil pickup. He goes, that's not us. That's for the guy in the back. I'm like, wait a minute. These are two separate businesses? He goes, yeah. He goes, this bay and this bay, this is ours. We do all the detailing and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for giving me the heads up. Would you happen to seeing the guy from the back anywhere? He goes, nah, he should be back here. I'm like, all right, cool. He ain't back here. I rolled the fuck out. I ain't doing it.
Right.
I'm not sitting here waiting. On top of that, if these are the motherfuckers I gotta get, nah, this definitely ain't fucking happening. Like, where's your logic in thinking that there's a guy that's gonna come here and climb on top of shit to fucking get this shit done for you. You know what I mean? Like, be considerate, drop your shit down to the ground to where it's accessible. People don't fucking think about shit, man. I'm like, I don't understand that. You know I need access to certain spots.
Well, it's like the job I'm at, like I'm packing up a pallet. I get a couple of pallets in, I put them in a spot, and I'm like, there's not a lot of space here. So this one's not quite where I want it to be. So I move another pallet. I break this other pallet down that I've had sitting for a while.
Yeah.
Put some stuff away, reset up the new one. So there's one that we're pulling from to make this stuff, and there's one that we're building up to send the stuff out. And I've got it set up so that the door opens. You know what I mean? The door barely opens, like it gets by where the thing's set. You can get around it to the stuff that you need to get to in all directions, and now like everything's way less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But like that, all that takes is 5 minutes of standing there thinking.
That's what gets me.
Move a couple of things. Think about 2 or 3 steps down the line.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Play chess, not checkers.
Exactly.
Like life ain't that difficult if you just think about what's going to happen.
With everybody, like I'll go to a spot that I've never been to, and I'll be like, look, if y'all just move this here, I'll be good. Man, we ain't think about that. I know you didn't, but I did, so
That's
can
why
we make this happen?
I'm here to help.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not going to physically do anything, but I'll come up with a plan for you to follow if you like.
I can dictate to you what you need to do to fix your problem.
Exactly.
The better I understand your problem, the greater my ability is to tell you how to fix it.
Bam.
And that's what I used to tell people when I was bartending. Because motherfuckers want to come in when you're bartending and just ask you questions about life and their situation.
Because when you think about shit, as a bartender, you're also a psychologist.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing as a barber or a hairstylist. You're the psychologist for the people.
Right, but like I would tell them, I would say, look, man, I'm trying to help you with your problem here, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but you're limited in what you're telling me, right? So like, if you don't tell me the whole story, I can't wholly help.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know everything in order to be able to tell you what you really should do. You want to tell me limited stuff, that's not really going to help anybody out because I don't understand well enough to be able to tell you what you should or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can't tell me everything, you shouldn't tell me anything because you're wasting my fucking time.
I got a question for you. As a former bartender, what was like one of the craziest fucking stories somebody had ever told you? Do you have one of those?
It's not so much like a story, as much as like you get to know people.
And you hear shit that you don't want to hear or know about them.
Well, it's like you talk to one person, say, for 3 years.
Yeah.
And you talk to 30 or 40 or 50 other people in this town on a regular basis for 3 or 4 years. And then one day, 2.5 years in, you hear a story about somebody else. And it clicks, though. Because, like, you know
the other part of the story.
You know other parts of things. You know things that other people don't know because everybody's telling you the shit.
Because they're like telling you like a doctor, it's doctor-patient privilege type shit.
Right. You hear all this doctor-patient privilege shit, and then one day you're like, oh, wow,
So you're X to motherfuckers Y.
Right. So this is the Karen that Carol was talking about 3 months ago.
Try again in a few seconds.
What in the fucking hell?
Where did she come from? Who is that?
I don't know. These bitches in here talking to us and shit. Like, we're broadcasting the show, Patrick Swayze. Like, you don't need to fucking, like, it's probably fucking Siri or fucking Elon or somebody out there listening to us.
Could be Elon, all the kids got.
Like, that's the thing about bartending in an area for any period of time is that if you're a place where you have regulars and there's a late night scene of any sort, even if it's small, like, you hear about stuff and you're like, oh, I didn't know she was fucking that dude or whatever, like, and it all clicks one day here and there.
Like, oh shit.
Because it's accumulation.
That's the motherfucker that gave you the herpes.
Right, it's the accumulation
now it makes sense.
Right.
Oh, so that's why you're in the corner scratching. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I see now. I see where it's coming from. Yes, I got that drink for you. What you wanted a double shot of that?
It's like somebody shows you a video of some girl from behind a wall in a bar 3 nights earlier sucking a dick.
Yeah.
And it's your first week in this town. And then 6 weeks later, you see a girl that looks distinctly like that girl that was sucking a dick behind the bar.
You see that fucking one tattoo and you're like, oh shit.
There she is.
I know the White Rabbit. Like in the Matrix, Fall the White Rabbit. Oh shit, I've seen the White Rabbit.
It's like that, man. Like, these things happen. That's just why bartending is great and horrible all at the same time.
Now, being a young Mason, would you do bartending again?
I would have bartended again if I was a young Mason, but I would also have started faking drug tests long earlier in my life. Like, if I had it to do all over again, that's one thing that I would do right out the gate. I'd be like, no, fuck you. Yeah, I don't smoke weed. Right. Wink, wink. Let me pass the drug test.
Yeah, get on
and get
in
the
the
fucking
place.
job, and fuck it. Fire me if you don't like me, or fire me if you want to random test me on a regular basis. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and worry about, like, honesty, because honesty's never really helped me that much.
Man, that was the crazy shit back in the day when I was working at this warehouse. I got in, I faked the piss test, got into the warehouse. Then I would burn at lunchtime and get drunk with everybody. Like, we would get fucked up at lunchtime, you know what I mean? Go back in and work.
Yeah, right, warehouse, man.
One day, man, we go back in this motherfucker, and I'm on my fucking forklift, dude's on my jack, and I'm riding with pallets, and he's hauling ass, and we meet at an intersection. Boom. Run over his shit with the pallets. He goes, God damn it, I think you broke my toes. I said, well, leave your boots on. Don't take the shit off till the shift's over. He goes to the manager's office, takes his shit off. Fucking foot's swollen purple, right?
Right.
He was like, yo, the manager was like, well, look, gotta send y'all. I'm like, you already know to deal with us. We just finished smoking before we came back in this motherfucker, man. You know we can't pass. He was like, all right, well, you sit here with your foot propped up and go deal with it in the morning. You finish up, we'll call it a wrap. I'm like, all right, cool. I had another supervisor. He was cool as shit because that dude ended up getting fired. And then we got this other guy in there, right? And I knocked over this fucking... it's like this field goal size fucking post that was blocked. It's in front of the doorway where the forklift's got to go through, right? Hauling ass on my fucking forklift. I hit this fucking patch of like chicken juice. And this shit spun me right into this motherfucking pylon, right?
You hit chicken juice in a forklift?
Yeah. Now, this is one of them standing up forklifts, too, man. This is one of these big-ass motherfucking huge bitches.
I see your big ass being like a Porsche, where like if a Porsche gets tail happy, like it's got a lot of weight back there, so it can get going.
That motherfucker spun, and I flew up into this fucking pylon, right? That should have been bolted into the ground.
Oh, Lord.
And I hit this motherfucker, boom, like a big giant tuning fork, right? And this bitch falls in like the slowest motion as possible, y'all. It just took its time coming down, and it boom, and it was hollow. So you heard still, like this motherfucking 20, 30 foot tall fucking goddamn pylon fucking falls, and this tuning fork sound goes all over the warehouse, right? The boss comes out. He was like, what the fuck just happened? I said, man, I hit some chicken juice, blasted right into this bitch. He goes, can you get rid of this motherfucker before day shift comes? I'm like, yeah, because it's like fucking, maybe about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Day shift be there in about a half hour. I was like, yeah, I can get rid of this motherfucker. That's no problem. You know what I mean? So I drugged this bitch. I had two guys on a pallet jack hold the bottom ends. I got the forklift, and we're driving this simultaneous, like, to the back. Set it up, prop it up, tie this motherfucker off. I signed my name on it first, and then I tied this motherfucker off to another beam that's in the back, right? The boss comes to me and said, look, I gotta ask you this. Can you pass the piss test? I said, nope, I'm gonna fail that bitch with flying colors. He goes, all right, cool. We'll just say we don't know what happened and go with it from there in the morning. All right, bet. So I go back to work next day. Nobody said nothing about a piss test. Go back day after that. Nobody says nothing about a piss test. I'm like, all right, cool. I guess I'm not going to get piss tested for this shit, right?
And that just reinforces for me that I should have been faking piss tests years earlier.
But peep this shit. So I get fired from this place. Been gone for 11 years. They called, needed help. I come back to this place, right, for a couple of years. That motherfucker was still tied up where I tied it at. Fucking at least 14 years ago. This motherfucker to this day is still tied up in that same spot. Because I told the maintenance guy, I said, wait a minute. He goes, Mike, remember when you knocked that motherfucker over? I said, yeah. He goes, it's still there. I said, no, it ain't. You're telling me through all this remodeling, nobody's ever untied that bitch and figured out how to put this motherfucker up? They're like, nah, it's still there. Sure as shit, same piece of rope, everything. It's still in the same spot. I was like, yo, I guarantee if you go up there with the cherry picker, on top of that bitch, my name is signed on top of that motherfucker, yo. It's probably covered in dust right now, but sure as shit, it's still there to this day. I guarantee I can call the guys right now and be like, yo, go back there and check. It's still going to be there.
That's how people do things, man.
But I'm like, all this time, y'all could have put this motherfucker right back up, like in front of these doors, you know? But You ordered other pieces? Okay, that's cool. I ain't saying how to spend your money or whatever, but you got an extra part back here that I know that I put back here that's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But, you know, it is what it is.
People don't think, man. It's just what
Not
it
at
is.
all, which is sad. Because it takes, what did my man Shabazz God say? He said it takes 3 to 30 seconds to just stop for a second, take a breather, and 3 to 3 minutes, 3 seconds to 3 minutes to sit down and just calm down enough to think. And 3 to 3 minutes could save yourself a lot of turmoil and trouble.
Yeah.
If you just take the time to just
It's kind
sit
of like
back and assess.
It's kind of like driving, right? Like you and I believe, are better drivers than the Jew unit.
Yeah.
Even though the Jew's like, well, I can drive faster than y'all. Like, yeah, but like, we don't like almost kill people on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
because, like, if I'm looking at the road, like, leaving here, a lot of the times, like, I'll pull out here, and there's cars coming, and I'm like, I'll just wait. Like, I'm not in a rush.
Nah.
Like, I'm so rarely in a rush.
Because if you're late, you're already late.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. I don't want to be later. Late is late, regardless. What's his name said? Vince Diesel said, "W's a W, whether it's an inch or a quarter mile, or win's a win."
See, and that's the thing, right? Like, if I want to push my car hard, if I want to drive a car hard, I'm going to go somewhere, maybe not a professional racetrack and pay money to be there. I'm going to go to a back road. I'm going to go to a spot somewhere where I know that I can cut loose a little bit and like really open things up a bit and go have a nice drive.
That's what I did when I was younger. There was a road out here that I would go on, and I had this truck. My dad had this Blazer that was decked out for racing, and fucking like
What, an S10 Blazer? One of the smaller ones?
No, this was a big boy Blazer. This is like a 78 joint, man. Had racing slicks on it, man. Had a big fucking engine block in this motherfucker.
Was it lowered?
Yeah.
Okay,
This
all right.
motherfucker was nice. We called it the Beast. That bitch would burn a half a tank of gas from here to Manassas.
Oh, I'm sure.
With no problem.
Well, you were doing 6 miles per gallon or something like that.
Oh, bro, probably even worse than that, man. But man, we would take
I
this
had a big
motherfucker.
Blazer like that. I was getting 12.
We would fucking take this motherfucker out. I'd fill it up. We go out here on this road that got this perfect straightaway and open that bitch up, man. That motherfucker would get the roaring, yo. I love that roaring, that bitch, boy. I tell you.
Right.
Because, man, you hit the gas and that motherfucker would drop like that and shake it. You know what I mean?
Your rear wheels were spinning.
I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah.
I love that feeling, man. When you hit that motherfucker gas, that motherfucker drop you down and roll with it. Like, yeah, we got this.
That's
you
all
know
that
what I mean?
torque, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, love that shit. But that's what I would do when I was younger. Now, like fucking yesterday, all right, perfect example, yesterday, Dawson Bowden, we riding on up to DC. She gets a little anxious when she's riding with me. Just because
Oh, you be driving a little bit dumb sometimes, but you ain't no dude.
sometimes, but you know what I mean? I get through the traffic that I need to get through, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, once you're in DC, you got to drive a certain way in
Yeah,
DC.
that's true. The closer in you get.
Yeah, people get more and more stupid, so you gotta fucking flow with the fucking traffic, So when the rain hit yesterday, she looks at me and she's like, you know what? I'm so glad that you're fucking driving and not me, because there's no way. I said, it's not bad. I know when to pull over if I needed to, and I would stop under a bridge instead of sitting in traffic so I could see cars coming and going. You know what I mean? Like when that storm hit, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I thought my truck got hit by lightning. You know what I mean? Because I'm driving the truck and then,
Jeez.
bruh, this storm, just hits, right? Driving the truck and this flash, like everything went bright white. I've never seen like the white that I saw. It was just this bright flash, and the back of the truck, I felt the back of the truck like drop down, and I'm like, wonder if I just got struck by lightning. I'll check it out when I get back to the shop. So it started coming down even harder. Pull off side of the road, I'm waiting for a little bit. It all fucking dissipates. I'm like, all right, cool, let me get back to the shop and check this truck out. Get back to the shop, I climb up on top of the truck. I'm like, well, hell, my truck didn't get hit by lightning. But somebody by me or somebody close by me did get hit. I don't know who or what, but that flash, it was just like a blink, but a long blink. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you blink, you got that darkness for a second?
Uh-huh.
This shit was just a bright white. I ain't never seen shit like this before. It fucked me up for a second. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm still alive. So
You sure you didn't get abducted by an alien and then dropped back into your
I
trap?
won't know. I'll find out in a few
like
months,
an
I guess. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Right.
I have nothing new happen thus far. No special powers.
Nothing's grown out of you yet.
You know, I ain't got no third eye, no fucking third limb. You know.
Okay.
So far, so good. Ain't heard no new voices.
You're not hearing any voices yet?
No new ones anyway.
Well, I mean, we made it past 666 episodes, so.
Yeah.
You know, with that said,
Oh
I'm going to have to
yeah.
bring this episode of the Mason and Friends show to a close. We'd like to thank you so much for listening.
Yes, we do.
We'd like to remind you to be nice to people that look like you and be nice to people that don't look like you. Don't be a dick.
Little bits by little bits, ladies and gentlemen. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, protect your mental wealth, your mental health.
And protect your energy.
That's right. Remember, you got to keep grinding on the shit you're trying to get done, because that's how things get done.
Please do. We believe in you.
And we love you very much.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Gone.